Good morning, socials, new and old. I am back. I am back. I am going to tell you guys how I started my business. I was thinking of story time, and then I thought, let me do something motivational. So this is how I basically started. I have somehow always been selling things. When I was in primary school, I used to sell pom poms, like the ones you tie your hair with. When I was in high school, I was selling um, these pajama boxer pants, which we called, with a bit of gangster slang, we called it trunkies. So that is what I sold. And I used to also sell cushions, like these, like pillows for your bed. And when I basically started, when I went to college, I had to do a business plan, but I lived in that. I got so immersed in the whole idea of this business plan. I visualized it so much, and it was called Cushions for Africa. For some reason, I just always thought, I would love to go into business. Had my first son, and I basically started a business which was called Polka Dot Celebrations. It failed miserably, and because of a few reasons that I only identified when I started my business, which I'm running at the moment. So I have always had a love for clothing, beautiful things, and I've always loved, buying. And for some reason, I would always, I would buy the color of something and I would see, oh my goodness, it's actually in trend. But I would, for example, figure out some way, somehow, I would figure out, oh, okay, this is going to trend soon. So I think in my case, that helped me a bit. But what basically happened was I was just minding my own business one day, walking around shopping, and I came across this store that I loved. I saw a top that I loved, and I came across the store, and the salesman said, "Oh, okay, you can have five of these, and you can have it at X amount. And if you buy one, it basically costs the price of two." So immediately I was thinking, "Oh goodness, I can make this happen." And the five items basically cost me 500 300 rand. And at that time I was like, I had my husband's, our emergency fund bank account with me, and I had my bank account, and I was thinking, shouldn't I? And then I sent my husband a message and I said, listen, I'm in the shop, and I explained to him, and he said, well, first find out if anybody was going to buy it from you. I mean, I was like, okay, it's only 300 rand, but I still asked him. Went ahead, bought it. When I got home, on my way home, I sent a message to my friends. I'm like, listen, I've got these tops, I've got it in these sizes, and I asked a few people. And then all of them wanted, and it seemed like I asked five, but from the five, I managed, no, sorry, I think I asked 8 to 10, and all of them wanted. And I was like, I can do this. And I went back and I went to go buy another five, I think. And then they told five more people, and five more people wanted. So before I knew it, I went back to the wholesaler and I went to go buy bulk in probably four or five different items. And at that time, because I felt like I didn't really need the money, I felt that I was going to basically tell people you can pay it off in 2 months instead of a month. Only because of the fact that it's stuff that I like. I take my size, and the four people take their sizes. It was never at that point. It was never. It was never the idea that it was going to be a business, or that I was going to, the business model were going to change or anything like that. And what happened was, it went on for quite some time, probably for about 3 months. And then my husband and I said, goodness, but this business is doing so well. I don't have to work anymore. And I basically prayed about it. I received confirmation, and I knew it was God's plan. This was it, and that was it for us. And what happened was, every time I went to the wholesaler, I just started having issues with their quality. I used to lose money here and there because of the quality. I also had issues where I wasn't happy with the design of something, where I, for example, liked the design of the garment, but I didn't like the feel of the fabric, or I, for example, liked the feel of the fabric, but I didn't like this design, or I imagined it being a certain way. And then I realized that, oh, okay, so why don't I just start my own label? At that point, you need to understand that I had or should I say, there was no, I have no actual formal training in design, fashion designing. I have no formal training in sewing or anything. I just knew I had a passion for fashion at the times. And that is basically how it all started. And in October, that same year, in October, I got a premises, and I hired machines because it was too expensive for me to buy them. At that same time, my mom, who's been in the clothing industry for about, I think, 30 years, she's been a seamstress for about 30 years. She quit her job, and she was like, let's do this. So obviously, yeah, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I'm responsible for this woman's salary. Oh my word, how am I going to do it? And I just took it one step at a time. I started with a few dresses, and I just went from there. I just got bigger and bigger. I got to the point where I could buy my own machines. I got to the point I could move to bigger premises, or I got to a point where I had to, from the get go, I always had one employee, but I'm at the point where I need more people. I need, I need to get bigger premises, and all of that just because I simply just decided, I'm just gonna see how this goes. And I always say that I never chased having my own business. I feel like it was God ordained, and I feel like it came to me, and it came to me at the right and the perfect time, that it was meant to happen. At the same time, I always remember that my sister studied fashion designing. When we were younger, we always used to joke about it, and now we actually, we actually make use of my sister's services. I'm a self-taught fashion designer, fashion buyer, and I'm yet to get my qualification in it. But what I'm trying to this message, or this whole story that I'm trying to convey to you, is that it does not matter how you start. It does not even matter what you have to start with. The most important thing is that I had a passion for what I did. I loved what I did, and I do not say that it's easy. Please, 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 please believe and understand me. It is not easy. But what I do say is that I gave it my all, and even up until now, I still give it my all. And I've got a big vision, and I've got a big goal for where the business is going, and for what I have in store for the business. And I believe, because I feel like it's always been part of my, my life story. If I can put it that way, it's always been part of my path. Um, I believe that, and because of that, I think I go the extra mile, not just for my clients, but also for people that's involved in the business. So, yeah, that is my story. I hope that I could motivate you, and I thank you so much for returning. Take care.